devastation is unreal. This is real. And it's not. Carolinas out here are gone. They're dead. We've got firemen coming out trying to take pumping water out of their basement. There's flood right there. Flood right here. Right there, there's a ditch. Which you can imagine. Haha. People still emptying out their basements. Fire. That's the water line on this guy's garage. Concrete. Look. Here we are, Rockaway Beach, Queens. We're only a matter of 20 blocks from freezing point, where 80 homes were burnt and destroyed, and about maybe 10 or 15 were burnt down, also 7 blocks from where we're standing. Behind me, the local resident says that this is a home. Ocean came, swept up underneath it, and washed it away. What you see is what remains. Now follow me, look behind me, and this is what remains of a house that was right here. Another home completely destroyed. Devastation is unreal here in Rockaway Beach. This is the Belle Harbor area, and we're only 10 minutes away. If you look down right here, this is asphalt that can be seen. Street level. Here you got a pothole with concrete and asphalt around it, completely cracked up. Come over here. You got a hydrant completely exposed. Plumbing underneath. Now we have a slab of concrete separating the barrier from the beach to the street. Some of those slabs are right behind me. Over here. Right behind you. There's some of those slabs right there. Right there you can power lines down. Devastation is astronomical. People are still piping out their homes with water in their basements. Or if they had no basement, water or in their first home. Please keep your prayers for everybody, especially this area is. So many people don't even have anywhere to go, anywhere to live right now. Fortunately, some have family and neighbors that they can still escape to, but many people don't have that luxury. I don't even think the beach right now, I don't even think the tide of the shoreline is still yet at a normal level. I still think the tide is still very high. Sorry. I've spent many summers here. This is Olivia Napolitano, Belle Harbor, Rockaway, Queens.
Okay, now here we have some footage from a local resident's cell phone from what was actually happening over in Rockaway Beach. This is the Belle Harbor area. It's crazy. This is before it actually got very, very bad. You can see it, look at there, it's coming in like a river. It's pretty insane. I have Joann here with me, the local resident, that we're going to see some of the damage to her home real quick. This is the front of her house where some of the mud and sand had come rushing and gushing up onto her property. Everybody around her is trash everywhere. Joann, what were some of your neighbors like?
Well, they were pretty much in the same state of shock. They couldn't believe the devastation that they were looking at. But they all felt the same way, that we have our lives and all the things that we're losing could be replaced. There were others in the area that lost their lives. Not only their lives, but they lost their houses. They lost family. So this material stuff can always be replaced.
Right. Now, we just saw your pool before. I mean, what do you think the state of your pool is in now?
That's full of seawater now and sludge.
Wow. And then this is your cars that we're looking at now.
They're all full of sludge and seawater.
Right. It's pretty crazy. We see a water line there in your car, in your son's car.
Yeah, that's the height. That went about 8 to 10 feet.
And there's water there in the cup holders and mud and sand everywhere.
Yep. Totally surrounded by water for hours.
Right, and I mean, your driveway is raised at this point, so it just goes to show how high the water levels came, even from the street level.
Yeah, we're pretty much at a very high point, and the house itself is pretty high. So we had a full sense of security because we thought that we were pretty much going to escape the water damage.
And here's something where you're pointing it out now.
That's a stairway where it goes down into the basement area where we have an apartment for my son. And that is totally filled right to the top. That was totally filled at the time. And now we had some pumping done, so the line, the water has receded a bit, but now it's coming up from the ground.
Right. So that's because, which I had pointed out here when we were taking the video for this, is that it's not just a smell of seawater in the air at this point. Yeah, it's sewage, so it's very unpleasant as well.
Exactly.
And it's not just outside your home, it's also within your home in the basement.
Exactly.
So here we have some footage of you here just coming in, and there's some water at your feet. It was probably only, what, about a foot at that point?
No, that's 3 feet into the basement. Right there is about a foot, but inside, that's the gym area. That's about 3 feet high.
Right, and there's your water line here coming up around
That's where it was at its peak. And everybody surrounding us had that height.
And from the video that we had just seen before, when it was coming in like a river at that height around your house.
We had minutes to get out from the basement and to go upstairs. It filled in minutes.
And there's a film all along the side of your brick right there, too.
Yeah, that's all the water line.
All above the basement windows, too.
Yes, we had some volunteer workers that came in from the fire department, and they were amazing because they got most of the water out the night before. You see this, and my hat goes off to them because they helped about 3.5 houses out there and more, and they were running to other places. So had it not been for them, volunteers, no money, they came in and did this for us with smiles on their faces, and maybe a bowl of cereal occasionally I was able to give them.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, here we see some footage from inside your home. This is from actually inside the basement.
That's the sewage. That's the
leaves and a lot of debris.
Yeah.
Now, I think I'm going to
be... to the ceiling fan.
Yeah, I think I'm getting to that in just a second. Yeah, we can see right there some of the debris all over the front windows to your house.
It just gushed in from every hole around the whole house.
Wow. Came
up from the drains first, and then through the windows.
Wow, that's devastating. Now, isn't that a bed?
Yeah, that's the futon we had down there. My son's bed is in the bedroom on the other. You'll see that shortly.
And that's the water line. Wow.
Yep, that's above the doors. So that's an 8-foot ceiling, 9-foot ceiling.
Wow, that's amazing.
And our TV is off to there's the TV and all the units. They came floating out.
That's amazing.
And we had another TV in the gym.
And all of this stuff all destroyed.
Yeah, all the electronics. My son had all sorts of things down there that are valuable. We're not going to mention on public.
Yeah, debris hanging from your ceiling fan there, and the bedroom furniture was obviously moved around a bit in the background.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, there's obviously a lot of help for New Jersey and the New York City area, but what are most of you and the residents saying from Rockaway, Queens?
Well, we feel really upset because a lot of the publicity and a lot of the mention of devastation is, I mean, we saw people's houses swept away right in front of us, cars, houses, people. Couldn't help them. Burning buildings, restaurants. Nobody's mentioning that. They're mentioning Staten Island, they're mentioning Jersey, they're mentioning Connecticut. So, we feel quite disadvantaged at this point. Breezy Point is another area that they're very
so at this point then, I mean, the question everybody begs to ask, what about Rockaway? Why not Rockaway? Well, thank you very much, Joann, and we hope everything works out with your home.
Thank you.
And that's it for breaking news. Have a good night.